Tonight on the Bayou Breakdown, we'll break down LSU football's upcoming matchup against Alabama, we'll preview LSU men's and women's basketball season as that tips off this week, and we'll dive into LSU Soccer's run in the SEC tournament. All that and more, the Bayou Breakdown starts now. Welcome to the Bayou Breakdown. I'm Olivia Girardi.
And I'm Kennedy Banks. It's a big week for LSU football after a past one full of changes.
Yeah, Kennedy. Coach Frank Wilson is stepping up as the football head coach, and Verge Osbury is going to be the interim AD after Scott Woodward's departure late last week. This week, though, the team will travel to Tuscaloosa to face number 4 Alabama. The Tigers are 2-12 in their last 14 matchups against the Tide.
Coach Frank Wilson spoke to the media earlier today, and Michael Eddins was at Wilson's press conference where he spoke about conversations he's had with Blake Baker to get this defense ready for the rest of the season. Michael?
Thanks, ladies. The biggest question surrounding LSU right now has been their defense. To start off the season, they look like top 5 in the country. But now, after giving up 48 to Texas A&M and 31 to Vanderbilt, it is clear that there are question marks everywhere. Interim head coach Frank Wilson speaks on what needs to be done.
We're a team. We're 3 phases of a football team. And the things that we need to do to allow our defense to get its swagger back, let's do those things. Let's incorporate these things into a practice setting. One of the things for him was, Coach, I need to see physicality in an inside run drill, if you will. You got it. We're doing it tomorrow.
LSU's defense will definitely have their work cut out for them, seeing as it only gets tougher from here. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Michael. A win this weekend could completely change the conversation surrounding the Tigers. Reporter Jesse Earls has more on Saturday's game against the Tide.
This Saturday, LSU and Alabama will square off once again in a rivalry that needs no introduction. For the Tigers, recent firings and staff changes have been the talk of the town for the past few weeks. Frank Wilson will be leading the Tigers in his first game as interim head coach. Making sure the team remains committed has been a major talking point for Wilson.
And they were also committed to this university, and they were committed to one another. And I think when in a time as perilous as this, that you bat down the hatches, you go shoulder to shoulder.
The last time the Tigers hit the field, they suffered a devastating loss to the Texas A&M Aggies. However, the defense remains a strong suit for this LSU team. If they can contain the talented Alabama offense, the game will be closer than what the experts may predict. After losing to Florida State in Week 1, the Crimson Tide have only looked better week by week. First-year starting quarterback Ty Simpson is a Heisman hopeful and a name that has been rising up draft boards. Simpson is very smart with the ball in his hands, having a 20-to-1 touchdown interception ratio. The Tigers will need to get him off his rhythm in order to have their best shot at winning the game. Both the Tigers and the Crimson Tide were on hiatus this past weekend with a bye week and are definitely ready to hit the field in Bryant-Denny Stadium. For Tiger TV Sports, Jesse Earls.
This is a big game for a Crimson Tide team that's racing to finish as a top 4 team in the country. Head coach Kalen DeBoer spoke to the media earlier today on what he expects from a team like LSU.
Short and sweet, what sticks out to you about playing LSU?
Well, this is going to be a physical game. It was last year. I think it always has been. That's the tradition here. You can see what their team is made up of. It's physical players. I think they got elite skill, both offensively and defensively, whether it's coverage or being able to win on the perimeter and the running backs as well. So, this rivalry goes way back.
There are big expectations from both teams and students here on campus. Reporter Carlin Theory was outside Tiger Stadium this morning to ask students how they feel about the recent changes in LSU football.
LSU has gained a lot of attention following the firing of Brian Kelly. I'm Carlin Theory, and today I'm asking students what their thoughts on our new interim coach Frank Wilson, Scott Woodward leaving, and how this will all go into effect against Alabama this upcoming weekend.
I feel like he'll be a good fix for the team. Honestly, we need it.
So far, the mentality he's put in, I feel like Brian Kelly got rid of a lot of the culture here.
Mind his business up there, and we are good down here.
And if you think about it from a business perspective, LSU is a big it's the biggest thing. It's the biggest revenue. It's public, so it is a part of the government. It is for the government.
Hold up bad. Like, we gonna lose. I'm sorry. We're gonna lose.
Not a lot, but because we have nothing to lose, this team should just go out there and throw everything.
LSU football is on its hot seat. The clock is ticking to see what the future of LSU football will be. For Tiger TV Sports, I'm Carlin Theory.
Thanks, Carlin. It's going to be a big one for LSU, and fans are expecting to see change with Coach Wilson in charge. Although I have heard some students don't trust this team as much when it comes to facing the Crimson Tide. Now let's take a look at the AP rankings. No changes in the top 7. Alabama stays 4th. Oklahoma climbs to the 11th spot after defeating Tennessee, and Texas has risen after defeating Vanderbilt at home. Coming up, we switch it up from the gridiron to hoops as the LSU men's and women's basketball teams are about to start their season.
Hate is loud. It gets clicks. It gets attention. Hate, however, is actually quite small. But love is the majority. Love fills our hearts, our lives, our every day.
There are a lot of temptations facing young people today, like electronic cigarettes and skateboarding. Each vape pod can contain the same amount of nicotine as a pack of cigarettes. This can lead today's youth to a lifelong addiction and severe lung damage. Recall and consider the facts before making a poor decision.
The health class film guy isn't the best person to talk to your kid about vaping.
Got a few minutes?
You are. Start the conversation with your child about vaping today.
You need some help?
Your tow chains are a little loose. Could spark a wildfire. I could show you how to secure them properly if you'd like.
Sure. Thanks a lot.
Anytime. You should check out SmokeyBear.com. They've got a bunch of tips on wildfire prevention.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Welcome back. The LSU women's basketball team has had a solid start, scoring 169 points in the 2 exhibition games they played last week. They'll start their regular season tomorrow in the Pete Maravich Center against Houston Christian. Then they'll host Southeastern Louisiana on Thursday, and they'll finish their first stretch of the season traveling to Statesboro to face Georgia Southern.
The men's basketball team is also starting their season this week, and reporter Juliet Marino is in the studios to tell us more about Coach McMahon's team. Juliet?
It's that time of year when fans trade their weekends at Tiger Stadium in for spending time in the PMAC. LSU men's basketball is back in action this week, but before the season starts, let's look at what fans can expect. After winning its exhibition game against UCF, LSU showed flashes in its new roster. And for Coach Matt McMahon, this team is going to be thrilling to watch.
You're going to love our team. These are selfless, high-character people, proven winners. They've really done a great job of working this summer and fall. They take great pride in representing LSU.
Now, as the Tigers gear up for their season, most fans may be skeptical of what's to come. With only 2 returning players from last year's roster, this year is going to be about team chemistry. But with talented playmakers in the portal, such as D-Dan Thomas Jr. from UNLV, LSU will have some experienced players in the backcourt, which will be a must in order to compete in the SEC. The Tigers are ranked number 71 in the preseason list, according to Sports Illustrated, and projected to be last in the SEC. But like we all know, especially with LSU teams, the preseason lists mean nothing. So for all those LSU fans out there, don't look too into those preseason rankings. Look at what's to come with this basketball team, because this year is going to be a good one.
Numerous transfers coming in for LSU over the offseason. The Tigers hope with a more experienced group, this season can be a major turnaround for the program. One player to look out for, though, well, he comes from the land down under. With more is Devin Whitson.
Amongst the plethora of moves made from Matt McMahon and his staff, a player that may go under the radar from some is senior transfer guard Max McKinnon from Brisbane, Australia.
I want to be a pro one day, and I think there's no better place here, just with all the resources here. Gym, rebounders, like everything you got here. So it's elite.
Transferring from Portland, McKinnon was named WCC second team All-Conference after averaging 15 points per game for the Pilots and feels indifferent to a change in scenery.
But I feel like there's no pressure, just got to keep trusting my work. It'll figure itself out. Just keep enjoying the moment, I think. These past 3 years of college, like I've kept stacking and stacking, and then see where this year takes it.
McKinnon is arguably one of the craftiest guards in the nation, as last season, McKinnon was up there with Cooper Flagg and Blake Harper to average 18 points per game, 4.5 rebounds per game, and 3.5 assists per game, shooting only 44% in conference play last year, providing a massive boost to the backcourt for the Tigers this year. With amazing touch and footwork, along with a great change of pace, McKinnon has the skill set needed for LSU this season to bounce back in the SEC. As the Tigers gear up for the new season against Tarleton State, McKinnon will be one to keep an eye out for on the new season ahead. For Tiger TV Sports, I'm Devin Whitson.
Thanks, Devin. Max will be one of the many Tigers we'll keep our eye out on ahead of the new season. Coming up after the break, we take a look at LSU Soccer's run in the SEC tournament as the Tigers are closing in on their best performance in years.
Hate is loud. It gets clicks. It gets attention. Hate, however, is actually quite small. But love is the majority. Love fills our hearts, our lives, our every day.
There are a lot of temptations facing young people today, like electronic cigarettes and skateboarding. Each vape pod can contain the same amount of nicotine as a pack of cigarettes. This can lead today's youth to a lifelong addiction and severe lung damage. Recall and consider the facts before making a poor decision.
The health class film guy isn't the best person to talk to your kid about vaping.
Got a few minutes?
You are. Start the conversation with your child about vaping today.
You need some help?
Your toe chains are a little loose. Could spark a wildfire. I could show you how to secure them properly if you'd like.
Sure. Thanks a lot.
Anytime. You should check out SmokeyBear.com. They've got a bunch of tips on wildfire prevention.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Welcome back. LSU Soccer has started postseason play, entering the SEC tournament ranked 5th, and they took on number 12 Auburn this past Sunday, and the real Tigers took home the win 3-2. It's the second year in a row that LSU has eliminated Auburn in the first round. Tomorrow, they will play number 4 Tennessee in the quarterfinals. Winning against the Vols will be the Tigers' first appearance in the semifinals since the team won in 2018.
Time now for some high school football. Reporter Cassidy Taylor is in the studio to tell us more about one of LSU's pipelines for local Louisiana talent. Cassidy?
The Edna Karr Cougars have once again proven why they are one of Louisiana's top football powerhouses. Known for producing an elite amount of D1 and NFL athletes over the years, the Cougars are ready to send off yet another powerhouse duo to Death Valley. I had the opportunity to take a trip down to the West Bank and see what all the fuss was about. Year after year, the Cougars of Edna Karr continue to produce some of Louisiana's most dominant football players. With their current head coach and LSU football alumni himself, the program knows exactly what it takes to produce next-level athletes, and this year is no different.
5 current SEC commits headline the Cougars roster, including 2 of the top 10 ranked defensive players. The powerhouse duo and anchors of the Card defense include 4 stars, safety Aiden Hall and defensive lineman Richard Anderson, both choosing to stay close to the Bayou, committing to LSU.
He prepared me mentally to go to college early. And, I wish I get up there and adapt to the change.
Despite a combined 60 Division I offers between the two, the duo says the call of Baton Rouge was too strong to ignore.
Trying to bring DBU back to LSU, so it felt good.
The pair is set to join 3 former Car standouts, including wide receiver Aaron Anderson, who is currently making a huge impact on the LSU offense. With Hall and Anderson set to bring their defensive power to the 2-2-5 next season, Carr will continue its legacy as one of LSU's most reliable pipelines when it comes to football. From the West Bank to Death Valley, the Big Cat roar will continue to be heard loud and clear. From Tiger TV, I'm Cassidy Taylor. As they currently sit undefeated, you could say the record speaks for itself. Coming up after the break, we'll tell you our picks for tonight's game.
Hate is loud. It gets clicks. It gets attention. Hate, however, is actually quite small. But love is the majority. Love fills our hearts, our lives, our every day.
There are a lot of temptations facing young people today, like electronic cigarettes and skateboarding. Each vape pod can contain the same amount of nicotine as a pack of cigarettes. This can lead today's youth to a lifelong addiction and severe lung damage. Recall and consider the facts before making a poor decision.
The health class film guy isn't the best person to talk to your kid about vaping. Got a few minutes? You are. Start the conversation with your child about vaping today.
You need some help?
Your toe chains are a little loose. Could spark a wildfire. I could show you how to secure them properly if you'd like.
Sure. Thanks a lot.
Anytime. You should check out SmokeyBear.com. They've got a bunch of tips on wildfire prevention.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Welcome back. This year has been a disaster for some of LSU football's former players in the NFL. It all started with Joe Burrow's injury, followed by Malik earlier this season. And yesterday, another former LSU star suffered a terrible injury. The Commanders were already losing this game by 31, and some fans are angry at the coaching staff for even keeping it in when they most likely didn't even have a chance at winning. Daniels suffered a nasty dislocated elbow, and he's set to have an MRI soon. That's going to tell us just how much he'll miss.
Continuing with the NFL tonight, we have Monday Night Football, and with that becomes our beloved pick segment. After a very tricky season, I am still up by 1 on Olivia, and before that, let me just say that we played each other this week in fantasy, and let me tell you guys, I'm very happy with Drake London and Rico Dowd's performance, all thanks to Santiago, our producer, for trading them to me for Cam Scattaboo.
Yeah, I'm not too happy with that fantasy performance, and you did win by a lot.
70 points.
But I think I'm going to catch you on our Monday night picks this week. It's the Cowboys and the Cards tonight. Who are you choosing, Kennedy?
You know what? I'm going to have to take the Cardinals. I feel like we've seen Jacoby Brissett play really well, and that Cowboys defense has been nothing but inefficient.
Yeah, and for my pick, I'm going to go with them boys. CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens have looked amazing. Jake Ferguson and Javonte Williams are just great weapons for Dak to use. And Dallas, I'm sorry, they have to take this one. That's all the time we have for this edition of the Bayou Breakdown, but be sure to keep up with everything LSU on our social media at LSU Tiger TV.
And make sure to catch our shows live at 5, Monday through Thursday. For Tiger TV, I'm Kennedy Banks.
And I'm Olivia Girardi. Have a great night.